November 7, 1967. The Soviet Union marks the 50th anniversary of the October Revolution. Rolling across Red Square is a brand new war machine, the T62 main battle tank. It is the first public glimpse of a design that will define Soviet armored warfare for decades. The T62 was born from the lessons of the T55, but it was no mere upgrade. In the late 1950s, NATO's introduction of the British L7 105mm gun meant that Soviet tanks risked being outgunned. The Soviet High Command demanded an answer, a tank with superior firepower, improved protection, and the endurance to survive modern battlefields. Development began at the end of the 1950s under the leadership of Leonid Kartsev at the Uralvagonzavod Design Bureau. Engineers kept the T-55's reliable chassis, but created a new, larger turret to house an entirely different kind of weapon, the world's first 115mm smoothbore cannon, the U-5TS. This gun was revolutionary. Its smoothbore barrel allowed higher muzzle velocities than rifled guns, enabling the firing of advanced armor-piercing fin-stabilized rounds. These projectiles could penetrate NATO armor at longer ranges, giving the T-62 a crucial edge in tank-on-tank engagements. Production began in 1961, with the T-62 quickly entering service as the Soviet Union's new standard main battle tank. While it looked similar to the T-55 at first glance, the T-62 was heavier, better protected, and more lethal. Its frontal armor could withstand most NATO 105mm rounds at medium distances, while its gun could defeat many Western tanks with a single hit. Mobility was powered by the V55B diesel engine, producing 580 horsepower. The tank's top speed reached about 50 km per hour on roads, but its real strength lay in its ability to traverse mud, snow, and uneven terrain where faster but less rugged tanks might fail. A fully loaded T-62 weighed around 40 tons, a balance between armor protection and maneuverability. The T-62 made its combat debut in the early 1970s, most famously during the 1973 Yom Kippur War. Syrian and Egyptian forces fielded hundreds of T-62s against Israeli Centurions, M48s, and M60 patterns. In open battle, the T-62's gun could penetrate these Western tanks, but Israeli crews benefited from superior training, better optics, and faster rate of fire. The war proved that firepower alone was not enough, situational awareness and crew skill were equally vital. Following the Middle East conflicts, the Soviets introduced upgraded variants. The T-62M, appearing in the 1980s, featured appliqué armor, explosive reactive armor, laser rangefinders, and the ability to fire anti-tank guided missiles through its gun barrel. These improvements extended the tank's relevance long after newer designs like the T-72 entered service. The T-62 also fought in the Soviet-Afghan War, where its durability was tested in mountainous terrain and extreme weather. It provided valuable fire support, but its weight and size sometimes limited mobility on narrow mountain roads. Guerrilla forces armed with RPGs and mines also forced the Soviets to experiment with additional armor protection. Outside the USSR, the T-62 became one of the most widely exported tanks of the Cold War. It served in more than 30 countries, from Angola to North Korea. Many nations developed their own modernizations, some replacing the original gun, others adding new engines or fire control systems. In Africa and the Middle East, T-62s were still appearing on battlefields decades after they were first built. Even after its official retirement from Russian frontline service in the 1990s, thousands of T-62s remained in storage. Many were mothballed, but in times of conflict, they were brought back into action. In recent years, upgraded T-62 megaseconds have been deployed in conflicts in Georgia, Syria, Libya, and Ukraine, a remarkable testament to the design's longevity. Over 6 decades since its introduction, the T-62 is no longer a cutting-edge weapon. Against modern main battle tanks, its armor and firepower are outdated. Yet its rugged simplicity, ease of maintenance, and sheer numbers ensure it still finds a role in the arsenals of less wealthy militaries, and in the reserves of larger powers. From the cold streets of Moscow in parade formation, to the deserts of the Middle East, to the mountains of Afghanistan, and now to the battlefields of the 21st century, the T-62's story is one of adaptation and survival. It is not remembered as the most advanced tank of its era, but as one of the most enduring.